Jump scare. Jump scare. Jump scare. Sup, gang? Sup? Hello, hello. Welcome to Friday stream. How's everybody's Friday been? TGIF or whatever. Welcome to another installment of Star drawing her OCs for a future video. Today on the docket, we have, I did the world's fastest poll in Discord right before the stream started. And I said, hey, chat, pick a number between 1 and 7, because I have 7 more drawings to do for part 1. And so chat picked 5 and 7. So we have number 5 and number 7. Which is who we will be doing today. I'm gonna start with number 5 because his pose is a little easier. But yeah, so we're gonna work on these. These again should hopefully not take too long. We shall see. We shall see. But yes, hi everybody. You know that I know that guy. Oh, do you now? Oh, do you? Raise your hand in chat if you recognize this fucking loser. This is a guy. This is a freaking guy. If you have read my very first webcomic, Sigh, you may recognize this fucking guy. Hey, look at me. I made a rhyme. But yes, this is a character from my first webcomic from my series called Sigh. And yes, he did have a cameo in Cast-Off, actually, because so I make a joke in the video that's going to be coming out next month. This video will be my October video, by the way. Part 1 of the Star draws a bunch of her old OCs and talks about them video will be coming out in October. I should pretty easily have all the art for it done by the end of the month, so I'm not worried about it. And the script is already pretty much done at this point. But yeah, so this was a character from my first webcomic who I then recycled and used in Psy, and I made a joke in the script for the part 1 video that this guy really just wanted to be the main character of a fantasy series, but instead he was stuck in a modern day urban fantasy instead. But yeah, I gave him pointy ears and said, okay, guess what? You're an elf guy now, because I need somebody for this one scene. His name is Kai, and he is tragic backstory McBlorbo, and I love him so much that I've recycled him. Him and another character from Psy who never actually... I didn't get far enough in the series for her to actually show up, but she was his fiance slash significant other, and she was the one who was standing next to him during that scene. She didn't end up getting any lines in the final script, oops, but it felt weird to have him there by himself. What? A star character with a tragic backstory? I know, right? That never happens. What? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, this guy dresses like he wants to be the main character in a fantasy comic, and I stuck him in my little psychic kids in the suburban psychic teens YA series. Because I'm very, very good at designing characters for the environment I will be sticking them into. Oh, Matthew Brower, thank you for the coffee. I didn't see that till just now. Thoughts on that Minecraft movie? I have none. I have not watched the trailer. I don't know anything about Minecraft. I have seen the people being really upset about it. I have not actually watched the trailer myself. So, no thoughts here, unfortunately. You guys want to know spoilers about this character? Since I'm never going back to that comic. And I will be dropping a couple of spoilers in the actual video, but I can talk about this guy more if you guys are interested in any of his nonsense. This guy, you know how we've been having fun comparing some of the characters from my first webcomic to some of the characters in Cast Off? Like, how Lucas is kind of a combination of Ariana and Frankie, and how Xavier is literally just young Sage if he was cooler. So Kai here is very much proto-Zera. And you can feel it. Sad backstory man from another country who has sad backstory and is in a position of power compared to the main characters. And he's just such a fucking guy. He's just such a fucking character, this guy. I had this whole world building for him, where he was from this fictional country that I made up, because I needed a country with a fictional history that I could modify for my needs, my dark purposes. And so I made him from this fictional country, and in this fictional country, it was small enough that it was not like officially recognized as a country, and one of the reasons it was so small is because it had basically been, like, completely decimated by some fucking psychic supervillain, like, a couple hundred years ago. And so the civilization was, like, very anti-psychic. I think I did say some of this in the actual comic itself. And so this guy, he has psychic powers, and everyone in his family basically told him, is like, you can't ever tell anybody, or they'll kick your ass out. But then there was a plague, and so he was trying to help find a cure for the plague. And you can tell that this story was written by a high schooler, because I did make one of the plot points that this character cheated his way into med school in order to try and develop a cure for this plague that was ravaging the country. And it worked! That was a thing that was gonna happen. Ugh, my goodness. So basically, he like faked his transcript, snuck into, not one in his country, an international medical school, to try and find a cure for this plague in his teeny little fictional country that didn't actually exist. And it worked. And then he got home, he was hailed as a hero, and on his wedding day, his psychic powers accidentally get revealed, and then he gets chased out. And he has to leave. And that's where the scar on his face came from. He got hit by a rock. Someone like threw a brick at his face or something. So he faked his way into the magic coup. Not even magic! Not even magic! It was a regular, like, medical... Listen. I was like 17 when I wrote this. There's a couple reasons why I'm not planning on going back to this comic. That's one of them. Very silly, very silly. We can all have a giggle about it now. Because I at some point realized, oh, this comic isn't very well written at some point, and I shelved it in favor of starting Cast Off instead. But yeah, I still like the character. I have fun. He was definitely my most favoritist to draw. And I love medical malpractice. Me too, right? So would you guys like to hear a cursed factoid about this guy? About Dear Sweet Kai, the world's emoest 25-year-old. Points at him. So back before I officially started Cast Off, like the characters existed in my head for many, many years before I actually, like, you know, did anything with them. And so my friends, like the friends that I was hanging out with on a regular basis, my squad, like they knew all of my OCs. We would occasionally like talk about them and I would draw them a lot. And so it would come up in conversation. Well, back when I was working on this comic, I had like done the pilot for Cast Off by this point, but I hadn't gotten any further in it. And I was actively working on Psy, which is the comic that this guy is from. And, a common ship for my original characters amongst my friend group, mostly Sarah, my lovely podcast co-host, former roommate, and current bestie, Sarah, very much shipped this guy, Kai, and Ariana, because they both had tragic backstories. And there is art of them being, like, shipped together on the internet still. I saw some of it this afternoon when I was digging for digging for references. So that's fun. There is definitely like shippy art of them on the internet. Trauma bonding, basically. It makes me giggle. Chat's going very fast. You can't mention that and not share it. Yes, I can. I can absolutely do that. Can we see it? Maybe if you guys are nice and you behave, I will put it in the video when it comes out. If you guys behave. Then I will show it in the video, but that just means you guys all have to watch that video when it comes out. This is bribery. This right here that's happening, this is bribery. Everybody go watch this video when it comes out in mid-October. And hey, also go watch my new video that just came out today. if you guys haven't yet. I made a video, it's extremely self-indulgent, where I basically just talk about all the tropes I like for like 20 minutes. And I drew some pictures of tieflings. It's good businesswomen practices on part of Star, exactly. Bribery, it's part of every good and successful business. Frankie's broken, what do you mean? Ooh. Okay, where did my stream bot go? Either didn't open properly, or it shut itself down. Maybe I accidentally closed out of the program, but it should be working now. Oh yeah, I should put the character poll on in the pinned comment again, so that you guys can submit your characters if you haven't already. A lot of you have, I know, but I'm gonna leave this, I will be leaving this poll open until like end of November when I have to start actually working on the video. Here. Pin message. Yippee! So yeah, I will just leave that at the top of the stream. We've already gotten like 700, almost 800 responses to that poll, and the responses have been fun. I've been like watching the numbers shift as people cast their votes. It's been very interesting to watch. Some of the options have been real close and they keep flipping back and forth. Why does this Kai guy look like the elf consort from the beginning of chapter 11 of Cast Off? Because he is. I recycled him and gave him a cameo because I still like him. Have you seen any that were too weird? Well, not to post a call out on main, but my dear beloved previously mentioned friend Sarah was messaging me, asking me why I limited it to only one response because she wanted to sandbag the votes with big bara titties. And she was giving me grief for limiting it to one response only so that she could not sandbag the votes with big bara titties. But yeah. Oh.
I'm legally not allowed to say swears. Sorry.
Oh no. Vector, there's no swears in that. Ugh, I need to fine-tune Vector's here, you know what? I bet I can copy paste this just so Vector will read it, cause hang on. Settings. Vector.
I'm legally not allowed to say swears. Sorry.
He sees the ass in massive. Is I think what's setting it off. But here, I'll read this. The Messenger, thank you for the super chat. Hi Star, been meaning to catch you live for a while. Newer big fan. I've watched all of your how-to stuff and bought your book. Working on my own webcomic. You've been a massive inspiration, Sensei. Oh, thank you. I am glad that my stuff has helped. I am sorry that Vector is allergic to your message. I'm gonna have to fine-tune his settings at some point. Goodness gracious, Vector. He's a little too cautious, I believe. But no, that's fine. Good luck with your webcomic. I hope you have fun with it. Yippee! Ah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the poll. But yeah, so that video will be coming out December probably. And I don't know, so far the party is shaping up to be pretty interesting. I'm gonna have fun drawing them, that is definitely for sure. It'll be a very eclectic group of little guys. I'm not gonna spoil anything because, again, I don't want to get people's hopes up and then have the options shift and so it's not actually a thing anymore. But yes. For those who are not familiar, who are maybe not here last time, the way it's gonna work is that I am going to look at the results from the poll. I'm gonna take all of the first place winners for all the options, and I'm going to make those into one character. I am going to take all of the secondary, like, second place winners for the second character, and then I'm gonna take all the third place options for the third place, or for the third character, and we're gonna design us a new party. And then for each character, I will be choosing a small handful of random character traits from the options on those last question. And if you're very, very lucky, one of your submitted character traits may be the ones that end up in the video. Oh, wow! Wowie zowie. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that one. But in the meantime, I am just gathering input, gathering votes. We are almost to 800 responses now. Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot of responses. It is. It's very much a lot, but I mean, it's good. I was hoping for cast a wide net, as it were. How's it feel to be drawing OCs you haven't drawn in a long time? Weird. Weird. I found it funny. I actually had to go and gather references for some of these guys because I just legit have not drawn them in so long. Like, I forgot what side of his head Kai's little thingy was on. I couldn't remember. And I couldn't remember exactly what his outfit looked like, so I had to go digging for, like, screenshots of that. That's what I was doing this afternoon, is I'm done with all the sketches for the part 1 video. So all of the characters have been sketched, and so just for the next, like, 2 weeks or so, I'm just gonna be doing streams like this, and we're just gonna ink and color them together. My goal is usually like 2 per stream, and that's generally possible. So, yippee. Oh, super chat.
Stop.
Back to you again.
I just finished your favorite tropes video and I have to recommend you play Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. It does literally all of them and it does them so well.
Elviston, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I hope I said your name right. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I've never heard that. Is that I assume that's a video game. But yeah, awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. One of the cool things about the video that I've been, the video that I posted today is that people have been seeing my list of tropes I enjoy, and they've been saying, hey, you should play/watch this, and I'm like, aw yes. Aw yes, Rex. Aw yes, recommendations for new shit to enjoy. Ah ha ha. Pathfinder is Pathfinder what Baldur's Gate 3 is to D&D. That's kind of what I assumed, based on the Because, like, I've heard of Pathfinder. I've never played it, but I have a couple of friends who are more into... They made the switch from Pathfinder to... Or from D&D to Pathfinder. And so they were talking to me about it a couple weeks ago. And by a couple weeks ago, I mean last week, because the passage of time does not exist. It's not real. How many people did the poll, or is it classified? So far, we have 799 responses. Yippee! So we'll see how many that can get to before I start recording the video, which again will not be for a couple more months. I will probably shut the poll around mid-November so that I can start actually working on the video. Yeah. But yeah, until then, we're just gonna see how many responses we can get, because, you know, the more responses, the more wacky shenanigans it'll be. I love wacky shenanigans. I love this guy in his stupid baggy clothes. He just likes to be comfy. He likes to be comf. I give him like a dark red background. That's kind of his color scheme, yeah. Got like the dark green for his cloak. That does not look dark green. Pay no mind to the flats. We will fix them later. There we go. Since gender isn't in the poll, I want to put female in the final thing, but I didn't want to break rules. Yeah, so I didn't put gender in there just because, like, there's gonna be 3 characters. I think gender will be the thing that I do randomly generate. I'll just, like, flip a coin or, like, roll a d4 or something like that. Or I'll just pick based on vibes. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet, but I figured that, like, with the way I was choosing all the other stuff, it wouldn't also really work for gender. So I'm just like, I'll just have this as another thing later. And he's got kind of like light brown hair. And kind of like the grayish little hair tie thing. Oh yeah, so I've talked about this before, but because it never came up in Psi properly, what this is it's kind of like a symbolism. In the Psi world building, it was supposed to be a symbol of marriage. Like, so instead of wedding rings, what you would do is you would, like, when you get married, you would tie off that section of your hair, and how long it is would show 2 things. 1, how long you were married, and 2, how fast your hair grows. And the idea is that, like, no matter how long your hair gets, you're not supposed to cut this unless the, I can't remember if I did, like, you cut it off when your partner dies or something, or if, no, you're supposed to keep it forever. But yeah, I had world building for it. We never got there in the comic. I do just want to say, that's not canon for Cast Off. I just kept that part of his visual design when he made the transition over, because it was like the iconic part of his design, you know? But that is not a canon thing in Cast Off, it's just a little bit of visual flavor. Okay, do I want to tweak any of these colors? I feel like his little tunic thingy's not the right color. Okay, so his original little tunic thing is more of like a yellowy beige, but I kind of like the brighter green. I've been doing little design tweaks for a couple of the older characters, just for fun. just for my own enjoyment. Like, I designed a new outfit for May just because I thought she would look cute in a dress and I never drew her in one. So maybe Kai gets like a slight tweak to his colors. Because I think that's fun. And now we're gonna play sorcery. Whee! Oops. Excess crotch. Get that out of there. Okay. Look at this freaking guy. Look at him. Emo kid. Emo kid! He's just a little guy, Your Honor. And then he had, like, dark red eyes. Again, this character very much wanted to be the lead in a fantasy story. And he was stuck being a teacher to psychic teens in my suburban magic story. Suburban urban fantasy. Suburban fantasy is what I called it sometimes. Because it was very much like present day, present time, but also some characters have psychic powers, don't worry about it. Suburban fantasy. Do they have to grow out the hair long enough to wrap it before they get married? Yeah, it's usually recommended that, like, if you, like, once you're engaged, you let the hair grow out a little bit so that your wedding ceremony's not awkward and they can tie it off properly. You gotta have at least a little something something, right? Yay. Hey Star, any tips for artist YouTubers just starting out or art tips in general? Well, for art tips in general, I've kind of already got a whole channel for that. But as far as like art YouTube tips, get a good mic. If you are going to spend money on anything before starting a YouTube channel, spend like 50 to 100 bucks, get a good mic. With like the kind of videos that I do where you're just recording art footage, a video that's like not super high quality isn't a huge issue because a lot of people listen to art commentary videos more than anything else. Having bad quality audio is going to make the videos very hard to sit through. I know I personally have clicked on several like art commentary videos from people that I've never seen before over the past couple of weeks. And I ended up not finishing them just because their mic quality was really bad, or they themselves were like talking really slowly, or just were really monotone. I always say it's like, try to record your narration like you're talking to your best friend. You know, like try to put some oomph into your voice. Try to make it interesting, you know? Put some inflection on your vocals. Practice first. I'll read out my scripts out loud multiple times before I get to the recording stage. Because it just helps me make sure that everything sounds right before I actually commit to recording anything. Yeah, so in general, as ironic as it sounds, if you're doing an art YouTube channel, focus on your audio and you'll have a better time when you're first starting out. Mm-hmm. Fully agree with that. Your art brought me, but the energy kept me. I am glad, thank you. I try, I guess is the way to put it. I've been told that I have theater kid gremlin energy. I don't know if I agree with that last part necessarily, but you know, I try to instill a positive and energetic vibe. I like to make my, you know, I want my stuff to be entertaining, right? I think anybody does, but I know that some people struggle with like kind of having a more monotone voice. Have you considered doing a Narrative Academy episode on character relationships? There's a lot of Narrative Academies that I would want to do. The tricky thing is time, because those take so much longer to edit, you know? That's why I haven't done any more like actual analysis videos yet. My next one I want to do is about Ghost Trick, but I just haven't had time to sit and replay the game to get footage for it yet. Because I need to replay the game to get footage and also take notes. And I just haven't really had time. But eventually, that will be a thing. It's not going to be a thing this year, because I already know what I'm going to be doing, and I have already signed contracts with sponsors for the rest of the year. So I am booked for the rest of 2024. But maybe sometime early next year I'll do that Ghost Trick video. I want to do it. The thing I'm worried about with the Ghost Trick video is that I don't want to be the person who spoils Ghost Trick for people. If I do the Ghost Trick video, you guys have to go play Ghost Trick before you watch it. Because it is genuinely, like, so freaking good. And I know that people will just, like, watch a video on a movie or a game that they're never intending on playing, because they don't really care about spoilers, but you should care about Ghost Trick spoilers. Ghost Trick is legitimately an extremely good story, probably one of my favorite stories in a video game in general. I love it so much, and I highly encourage everyone who is even a little bit interested in talking about, like, foreshadowing and plot twist build-up, which is what my eventual video will be focusing on. Go play Ghost Trick sometime before the end of the year. So that you will go in prepared for when my video about the game comes out. Because I'm gonna have to put, like, a big warning at the beginning. It's like, hey, please don't let me spoil Ghost Trick for you. It's a genuinely phenomenal game to go into blind. And in order to talk about the stuff that I need to cover in this video, I will have to spoil all of it. I will keep secrets where I can, but we're literally talking about foreshadowing and plot twists in that video, so we're gonna have to talk about the foreshadowing and the plot twists. You know? What is Ghost Trick and how much is it? Ghost Trick is a puzzle game. It's like a puzzle visual novel game about a guy who dies and has amnesia and and only has like one night before his spirit disappears. And so he is basically trying to solve the mystery of his own death, like who he is, why he died, and what happened before he died. While at the same time helping to solve another mystery and save a bunch of people from unnecessary deaths. It's an extremely good game. It is made by the lead writer of the original Ace Attorney trilogy, so if you like Ace Attorney, you will adore Ghost Trick. The art style is phenomenal. I posted some pictures of it in my video that I released today. It has a dog named Missile in it, and he's an extremely good boy. There is also a cat in it. I can't tell you anything about the cat. I cannot say anything else about the cat, but there is a cat in it. Oh, I completely forgot this. I brain fart. I did a playthrough, like a narrated playthrough of the entire game. So if you don't have the money or time to play the game yourself, but you still want to, you know, like, experience it, I have a full playthrough of the entire game on my channel. There should be a playlist for it. And I voice all the characters, and so you can just have it on in the background while you're working on stuff. I don't know, Sly, I know you're around. If you want to, like, if you could maybe grab the link to the Ghost Trick playthrough, I believe there should be a playlist on my channel if you search on the playlist tab. If you or someone else would not mind grabbing that. Thank you. Yeah, so that's the thing. Speaking of cats, hi Molly! Hello, meow meow! Hello! Molly cat is here! Molly cat is here! Hello! Hey, don't scratch up the carpet! Hey! Stop it! No carpet scratching. Yeah, so Sly has just posted the link in chat if you guys want to check out my Ghost Trick playthrough. I play through the entire game and I narrate all the characters. So if you don't have time to experience the game yourself, or you can't afford it, which I understand, there you go. There's the all of it. Do you use voices? Yes. It gets very silly at points. But I do my very best. I put on my theater kid hat and I freaking get into it. Your missile voice was perfect. That, honestly, very heartening to hear because I was so worried that the missile voice I was doing was annoying. Hi, Missile! I'm the goodest boy! That's my missile voice. Kind of, sort of. It's been a little bit. I'm just a little doggy. Missile is goodest boy, though. We love Missile. I remember a short where you drew Vector in the Ghost Trick style. Yeah, I drew my entire main trio in the Ghost Trick style for Mail Club a few months ago. It was right after I finished that playthrough, actually, because I had it still fresh in my brain. And I love the art style from that game. From much, it's so good. So good visually. Molly? What is a kitten, meow? What? Hi. Hi. When? In a kitty cat? In a meow 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 purr cat? You know, you could get up here and lay on the little shelf next to me like you usually do. You could do that. But no, she wants to sit on the floor. Sit on the floor and meow at me. That is her what's the word I'm looking for? Not magnum opus. Modus operandi, that's it. That's her MO for this stream, is sit on the floor and yell. She's just a baby cat-o. She's just a baby cat. She likes to yell, but she does not like to yell as much as Milo likes to yell. Milo yells like it's her job. She screams at me like she's getting paid to do so. Molly mostly yells when it's feeding time. And when I am sitting and, like, getting their food bowls together in the morning, she'll, like, go, meow, 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 meow. She'll just sit there and do that the entire time. She loves it. All right, I think we are just about done with the shading here. Do 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 do. Came in from the radio, great job on Star. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was worried the video wasn't gonna do super well because I thought that just me being cringe and yelling about the things I like wouldn't make a very good video. But folks seem to be interested in it, and so I am excited about that, and I'm glad. It's not performing as well as some of my other videos, but I am totally fine with that because the only videos that are beating it are my ones that performed shockingly well to the point where I still don't fully know how those are getting around so much, but I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. I will take it. Yeah. I, at the very least, did not expect it to do as well as the Pet Peeves video, because, like, I understand on a conceptual level why the Pet Peeves video did so well. It's because people like hearing about negative shit, and that, while that does bum me out, I do acknowledge that it's true. But I didn't think they would like it that much. Because, my goodness, that video popped the hell off. And I still don't know how it did that. But yeah, so I was not expecting this one to do as well as the Pet Peeves video, but I am satisfied with how well it has been doing, so. Thumbs up. Negativity sells, yes, and I wish it sold a little bit less. But what can you do, right? Give him some blushies, make him look less like a corpse. Yippee! Gonna do my subsurface scattering because I'm a dork. I love putting this little red ring around my shadows, especially on skin. It's a bit much to do in the webcomic, but I like it. I came from the How to Make a Character video, and I'd love to hear more about the trio of characters you made for that video. Yeah, I've been getting that comment a lot. Thank you, by the way. But yeah, I know a lot of people are very interested in that trio. But the thing was, I was not planning on doing any more stuff for that trio of characters. I kind of came up with them, and I figured I was done with them. But the people have been demanding them, so I don't know. Maybe I will, like, bring them back at some point. I know eventually I want to do that story, like how to craft a story video. Once you have the characters, how do you craft a story type video? And I've been putting that one off because I think I kind of want to go a little bit more intense with it. I think instead of just it being my tips, I kind of want to also like get advice from some other creators, especially in the webcomic space, maybe do like some interviews, but I haven't really committed to solidifying any of those ideas. But it is a video that I still want to do at some point, so. Makes one-off characters, everyone wants more of them. Well, shit, yeah, basically. Basically. Who's committing crimes? Oh, no, okay, I think we're good. I got a shipment of some stuff the other day, and it came packaged with, like, one of those, like, big rolls of, like, the crinkly kind of brown paper. And the kitties love the crinkle paper. And I forgot that I had given them some, and I just heard a noise come from my kitchen, my dining room. And I was like, which cat is committing crimes? Oh, no, wait, they're just playing with the crinkle paper. It's fine. They're just playing with the crinkle paper. It's fine. It's fine. Getting very into my shading. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was kind of grumpy about it. My stupid human meat suit woke me up at like 3 a.m. for no reason. Was just like, hey, you want to be awake? And I was like, no, Bonnie, actually, I don't really want to be awake right now. I would much rather be sleeping, which is why I went to bed at, you know, like 10 p.m. like I usually do. And my body was just like, well, too bad. So I was kind of in and out of sleep last night for no particular reason. It was very frustrating. I'm just like, okay, body, it's not gonna work. I would like to be sleeping right now. And body was just like, nah. And then I woke up again at like 5. I don't actually know how much proper sleep I got last night because I was so in and out of it. And I was just like, I would like to go to sleep and stay asleep, please. But yeah, so I woke up at my usual time today. And then I did like 3 things. And then I was like, I need more sleep. And so I went back to sleep for like an hour. And then I finally rolled out of bed at 10, and I was like, I guess this is as good as we're gonna get. But, you know, hopefully sleep will come easier tonight. One can only hope, right? Look at my emo guy. I love him. I love him. He's a little guy. He's a freaking little guy right there. Pinches his cheeks. I remember when I first started this comic, I made a character 25 and I was like, wow, he's so old. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be 25. I said to myself when I was 17, and now I'm in my 30s, and it's just like, this guy's the child. 25, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this? This freaking emo kid? Oh my god. A child. Did all the psychics have rhyming names? No. No, just him. He was just unfortunate enough to be a victim to my silly names. My silly, silly naming conventions. Okay, so now we will do our usual nonsense of adding silly little glowies for lighting intrigue. Wowie gee willikers. And we will add another one, but that's blue instead, for areas where the light is kind of reflecting. Reflected light, ooh, so fancy schmancy. So we have before, after, just some soft airbrushy layers. Let's see, where's my sparkle brush? Where's my beloved sparkle brush? Here it is. Sparkles! Yippee! Alright, and then we will blur these. Gaussian blur. To make them sparkle. Yippee! Here, and let's go ahead. Oh yeah, so here's some fun stuff. I did some sparkly effects work off screen for the ones that I finished last time. We love sparkly effects work in this house. So there's Xavier again. I was just like, I forgot to do his sparkle sparkles. I forgot to do his sparkle sparkles. And I did some for Lucas too. I did these earlier this morning. It's got some swirly whirls and sparkle sparkles. Sparkle sparkle swirly whirlies. Because yeah, there was very much like glowy magic in Psy as well, but it was, you know, instead of magic, it was psychic powers. So, you know, cool stuff. Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and call Kai here for now. I may come back and tweak his stuff later, but I'm gonna leave him here for now, and we will go on to our next character. This is Thalia, and she is not from a webcomic. She is actually a character from my Monster of the Week game. I was in a Monster of the Week campaign with a couple of buds before the pandemic, and we never ended up finishing this campaign just because combination of burnout kind of on all of our parts, and then also when the pandemic started, it was just kind of a bad time for everybody. But yeah, so this is my girly. She is a wannabe punk rock musician who dropped out of the preppy law prep school that her rich parents sent her to in order to be a rock star. She's still working on it. And there's Jared, he's at it again! Jared Sadewater, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, I appreciate it. If you guys just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you in the chat. Yes, Thalia was the first ever tabletop RPG character I played in a longer campaign. I played in several one-shots before this one, but they were always one-shots, so it was like I made a character and then I played him once and I never used him again, and it kind of broke my heart because, you know me, I love stories and I want to tell like longer form stories and get really deep into the characters, and I was never able to do that in the one-shots that we were playing. So Thalia was my first experience, like, having a longer form character. She's my baby. And I love her. She is very much... So her class in Monster of the Week was the Mundane, which was basically, you know, your character classes in Monster of the Week, a lot of them are things like the Chosen One, or like, there's a lot of, you know, like kind of supernatural magic-y elements in that game, but the character class of the Mundane is literally just, you get special abilities for being just a normal guy with no magic powers or anything. And so, like, the other members of her party were, we had a former special, like, secret special agent for a time. We had a Chosen One character who was always, like, getting weird visions of, like, Chosen One shit. We eventually got a kind of witchy character who could do, like, some magic stuff. We had a literal zombie. And we had a guy who was basically just like every character from a survival horror game who has lost someone and is mad about it. I think the character class was like the Wronged or something. But basically vengeance quest character. And then by comparison, we just have 19-year-old wannabe rock star. dropped out of pre-law to work as the DJ at a strip club and fight monsters in her spare time. And she's having a great time doing it. She once drew a dick on a pigeon. She once drew a penis on a chicken, and it became a local suburban legend. There was an arc. One of the monsters of the week that we fought was a cockatrice that was like turning things to stone. And one of the first things we noticed had been turned to stone was like this random pigeon in a park, like this very realistic pigeon. And we were like, whoa, what's up with this pigeon statue? And Thalia was like, don't worry guys, I got this. And she took Sharpie and she drew a dick on the pigeon. And everyone else was like, ah yes, very mature. But then later on, the pigeon got unstoned. It got brought back to life. And so then it was just a local legend that there is a pigeon with a dick drawn on it, and the people of town called it Dickbird. His name is Dickbird. He's a local cryptid, except not really a cryptid because he does exist. And that was just like, that was the kind of shit that she got up to. Thalia and Rory were very similar in terms of like personalities, where they're just kind of like, they're just kind of here to have fun and cause problems because it's funny. Very much both of their personalities. And I have a whole lot of fun with her. She actually, eventually, she did end up changing her class, like, later on in the game. She actually switched to the primary, like, spellcaster class, because she touched a ghost and got magic powers about it. On accident. And so she got, like, very limited water powers, where basically, in Monster of the Week, you can choose, like, typing. You can choose a few attributes for magic abilities, like when you're first building your character. And so I picked the one that let you kind of do explosions. Like you can control water, but you can also kind of make it explode. And so she would carry around like water bottles that she would basically use like little grenades, and she would throw them at people and then make it explode. I don't remember her getting to use those a whole bunch. But it was fun while it lasted. Your characters have a thing for touching ghosts? Alright, listen. Listen. Ah! There. Arm. I wanted to draw her in like an air guitar pose. See, Thalia, I didn't draw her very much, even when we were actively during the campaign. There's only like 2 or 3 pictures that exist of her. And she's wearing a different outfit in each of them. But in general, she's just like very kind of grungy, kind of rock star. She probably has like a bunch of My Chemical Romance t-shirts, and they're all like faded band shirts, and that's like mostly what she wears. She dresses like the emo kid at your high school. Let's see. YouTube is popping up. Now would be a good time to insert ads. How about no, YouTube? I will insert ads when I want to. And the answer to that is basically never. The whole reason I left Twitch, well, one of several reasons, but one of the big reasons I left Twitch is because they made ads. They just kept wanting to put more ads in my stream and I couldn't get rid of them. I don't want to make you guys watch ads. Like, you know, if you're watching a VOD, that makes sense, but if you're watching something live, you're gonna miss part of it if I throw an ad in there. Also, ads are annoying as hell. I like to watch YouTube videos to fall asleep on my phone, and I keep getting woken up when random ads will start playing. It's a pain, I don't like them. It's like, I'll throw on an ad if I take a bathroom break or something, but I'm not gonna make you guys sit through an ad while I'm still actively doing stuff. That's not cool. Like, yeah, I get revenue from that, but I also get revenue from super chats and memberships and stuff. And I make more that way anyway. Thank you for your super chats and memberships, by the way, guys. You are never obligated to, but if you ever, there are certain benefits to both. And I keep my memberships nice and cheap so that people can use the emotes without having to pay an arm and a leg for them. Because did you guys hear that they increased the price of a sub on Twitch again? It's like $8 now to sub to somebody on Twitch. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't want people to have to pay that much. I want to be able to decide how much they pay in subs. And I want to be able to decide how much my subs are. And Twitch is like, no. We tell you how much your subs are, actually. I was like, well, screw you then. So I stopped streaming on Twitch. I also stopped streaming on Twitch for a lot of other reasons, but that is one of several. Fun fact, I almost made this logo on her shirt, Dave. Because I thought it would be funny. This is what Dave thinks he looks like. Much cooler than he actually is. It's not actually Dave, but... we can all pretend that it's Dave. If you guys don't know who Dave is, don't worry about it. You can watch my most recent stream VOD. I talk about Dave a bit in that one. Or you will also hear about Dave whenever the part 2 of my original characters video comes out, because I will be talking about Dave. And how much we love Dave. The silly, funny slapstick skeleton. Oh yeah, so here's the thing I can talk about. So you guys know that I've been working on that big, huge D&D video, right? The one that I keep talking about, the one that I will not shut up about. The one that's taking me 1,000 years to finish because it will be literally the length of a feature film. So I had been ranting to friends recently about that I was kind of frustrated that it was taking me so long to finish just because it's been so much work. And I was talking to my mom about it yesterday. And she's like, well, if it's stressing you out so much, then maybe you just need to take a step back from it for a while. I'm like, no, you don't understand. The video itself is not so much work I can't handle it. What's mainly frustrating me is that I want to be working on it faster, and I'm not. It's like, I want to be able to spend more time working on it, but I've just been so busy all the time, I haven't really had time to work on it, and I just want it to be done. I want it to be done so that I can show it to people because it's gonna be cool and I'm real excited about it, and and so after that call with my mom, I ended up realizing, like, you know, I have kind of a regimented schedule for certain things in my week, but not for other things. Like, for example, I have set days of the week when I work on comic stuff, and those are my comic days. Those days are dedicated to working on the comic. And once I am done with my weekly quota of comic pages, then if I finish early, I can work on other things. But generally, for the past while, my weekly schedule has been Monday and Tuesday are comic days. So on Monday and Tuesday, I am working on the webcomic almost exclusively. And then usually I can get so I post 2 pages a week, which means that I have to finish 2 pages a week to stay on course. So, you know, Monday and Tuesday, Monday is usually sketching day, and then sketching and inking, and then Tuesday is coloring day. Some days I'll finish, or like some weeks I'll finish a little early, but most of the time that is my schedule. So Monday and Tuesday are always comic days. And then the rest of my week is just looks at my to-do list, see what the highest priority is, and then just kind of go ham on that for a while. And that has been my schedule. So, like, for the longest time, the webcomic was the main thing that I had programmed into my schedule on a consistent basis every week, and then everything else was just kind of, here we go again, let's see what needs to get done. And so I realize, you know, after thinking about it, it's easier on my brain, and I am able to get a lot more work done if I stick to a consistent schedule. Like, if I have time laid out to do specific tasks, where it's like, I know I need to do this thing, and it's okay that I'm not doing it right now, because I have a very specific time that I am going to sit down and do it. That has been very beneficial for me with other activities, and so I thought, okay, let's try something. Let's try making a more regimented schedule for the rest of my week. You know, like I've got my Monday, Tuesday, and those are pretty much exclusively comic days, but let's try scheduling my other days, and we shall see if that works to kind of help me be a little bit more productive on other things. So I made myself kind of a rough draft schedule, and I have a copy of it on the bulletin board in my in my bedroom. So that like when I first wake up in the morning, I can see what my tasks are for that day. And then I also have one above my desk that's in fun colors. And so like Monday and Tuesday are comics, Wednesday is admin day, and then I have a sub list of like admin tasks. And admin is stuff like packing orders, answering emails, preparing for streams, doing chores around the house, doing social media scheduling, writing and scripting for videos, comic upkeep, like scheduling the comic pages and stuff. Shorts editing is like my lowest priority because usually I can squeeze those into other days. So that's Wednesday is just admin all day to kind of give myself a break from drawing. And then Thursday and Sunday are my variable days because those are the days I have D&D, but we only do D&D every other week. So like one week I'll have D&D on Thursday, the next week I'll have it on Sunday, and then I'll have it Thursday, then Sunday, then Thursday, then Sunday, but it's on alternating weeks. It's not like every single week, right? And so on the days we have D&D, basically the whole day is blocked out for D&D and then whatever I have the energy to do afterwards. And on weeks that I don't have D&D, for Thursday, my off days for Thursdays, if we're not playing D&D, I am working on the D&D video. Like all day. That is my task for the day. Until that video gets done, Thursdays are working on the D&D video days. And then Friday, which is like today, Friday is YouTube day, whether that's writing or editing or what I was doing today, which was I sketched like a bunch of art pieces that I'm going to be drawing over the next couple of weeks for an upcoming video. So like today was YouTube day, and I spent most of my day working on stuff that will eventually go on YouTube. And so that was nice. And then Saturday is my free day. So that's either a day off or working on whatever the hell I want, because I'm not good at taking entire days off. And then Sunday, if I have D&D, then we play D&D, and it's also an admin day because I also pack orders on Sundays, and I usually have like other stuff I need to work on, like chores around the house, things like that. So that is the rough draft schedule I have crafted for myself. We'll see if it sticks. It might need some adjustment. There may likely be some growing pains, but I am hoping that, you know, working out a more strict, like, weekly schedule will help keep me on track, keep me productive, and keep me working on the D&D video because I want it to be done! I want it to be done! I want to finish it so that I can show it to all you guys! I want it to be done because I want you guys to be able to watch it. I'm really excited about it. So I have blocked out official time in my week to work on it, but we'll see how well I can actually stick to it. Alright, Thalia, let's do your nonsense. Let's give her like a dark blue background. And she is very pale. But then the rest of her color scheme is very dark. Like lots of grays. Grays and blacks. Various shades of black. She's goth kid. Very much dyes her hair black. She does not naturally have black hair. She buys the dye bottles from the grocery store. Oh, we got these little leg holes too. I think the strings, like the drawstrings, would be a little bit lighter. And black of the shirt, and then gray for the skull. She's an emo kid. And she'd have like kind of dark grayish blue jeans. And they're kind of lighter where they've ripped. Then we fill in behind the line art. Make sure everything's cohesive. Boop. There she is, my grungy daughter! She grungy. She crunchy. I love her. Might lighten this a little bit so that it's easier to differentiate. All right. Beans. Full list of beans. Okay. Yeah, her hair points got a little messy, but that is easy enough to fix. All right. I think these base colors are good. I might... Maybe we can make this a little bit bluer instead of purpley. Yeah, I like that better. Let's do the same thing for the little thingies here. We'll just lighten those a little bit so they stand out, but they still have the same thing. Yippee-ki-yay. Look at her! She's my grungy daughter! She needs her stupid makeup, though. She needs her stupid eyeliner that she never takes off. We can do that. Very smudgy emo kid eyeliner. The idea was that she basically never took her eyeliner off. She just kinda reapplied it in the mornings. It was always like a little bit smudgy. Let me actually do this with like a pencil brush. Girly Pop, you look like a tired raccoon. And she loves it. Alright. Find like a good brush for the smudging. Blech. No. Eh. Look at my grunge daughter. Okay, now eye number 2. A hard time finding like a good blending method for these. Doing my best. Yeah, again, guys, sorry if I'm not talking super much. Like I said, I'm kind of tired, but hopefully you guys are just enjoying the vibes. What time is it for you? Oh, it's not even that late. It's like 6:30 here. But it's just like, you know, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And it's messing with my eepiness. Freckle time. Freckle time. I don't remember if I ever really drew her with freckles, but I feel like she should have freckles. I feel like she's a character who should have freckles. Okay, and now we go into shading mode. Yum. Yum. Stop it, you're gonna make me yawn too. Too bad. Everybody yawn. Let's all yawn together, chat. It's contagious. Welcome to the sleepy time stream. Welcome to the sleepy time stream. We have some sleepy Animal Crossing music. We're yawning in sync together, chat. Relaxing stream o'clock. It's been a long week. A lot has happened. A lot has gotten done. And you know, it's nice for a chill Friday. It's like, yay, it's Friday, week is over, basically. Doesn't mean shit for me because I don't take weekends, but might be a weekend for you guys. What's the average time you spend on 1 week? I assume you mean like a work week. So the tricky thing for me is that I don't generally like keep track of precisely how many hours I'm working every week, but it's generally like about 50 hours a week, I'd reckon, probably. Like, my thing is I don't take weekends generally. And I have a hard time taking like full days off just because my brain is like, normal things will happen to your brain when your job is also your hobby. Because you want to, your hobby is fun, your job is fun. And so it's just like, oh boy, I want to work on this thing today. But it's like, it's still work, even though it's fun. Normal things, you know? So yeah, I generally don't keep track of precisely how many hours I'm working every week, but I'd reckon it's a minimum of like 50 hours a week approximately. But what you guys need to understand is like, one, yes, I do my hobby as my job also, kind of. Which you kind of have to be a special type of person in order to make it work. It's definitely not a career path for everybody. And it will mess with your brain in odd ways. Number two, I am a bit of a workaholic, but again, part of that is just because I like my job and I like being productive, and getting things done makes the brain make good chemicals, you know? So that is another part of it. Part three, it's like, you know, getting to cross things off my to-do list also gives my brain the good chemicals. And so if I'm stressed about something, the best way for me to get rid of that stress is to just finish the thing, which usually means working. Sen, thank you for joining the memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy emotes and videos and stuff. But yeah, you know, like, I do take, like, half days off fairly frequently. Like, usually D&D days, we're spending most of our, like, afternoon playing D&D. And so I'm obviously... Well, sometimes I work on stuff when I do D&D. But, like, for example, yesterday I was quote-unquote working during Dungeons & Dragons because I had mail club orders to pack, and that's just a lot of, like, tedious envelope stuffing that I can do without really thinking about it. And so I just sit and do that, like, between rounds of combat. And so, you know, I'm waiting for my turn to come up in D&D, and I'm just stuffing envelopes. Because it keeps my hands busy. And if I wasn't doing that, I'd just be doodling, so... But yeah, you know, it's tricky, but I make it work. And I have managed to find various habits and ways to manage it so that it is less unhealthy, I suppose. you find ways to manage it. And how quickly you figure out those ways is gonna have a real big impact on how well you can handle this kind of a job. But, you know, like, I make it work. And it's not to say, like, I'm not forcing myself to work this hard. It's just, like, I enjoy what I do for work. And therefore, I want to do it a lot. But I do still get burnt out, and on those days when, if my brain just, like, really is not feeling like working, then I just don't. Because I'm usually so productive on my other days that I can take a day off if I need to. Like, I took most of this past weekend off. Or not this weekend, last weekend, because I worked like 60 hours in 4 days because it was kind of the, a lot of due dates were happening all at the same time. And so I did way too much, and then I got burnt out, and so then I basically just spent like a couple days playing Fields of Mystria and not doing much else. And I was able to do that because I got so much work done earlier on in the week, you know? And I will probably be spending parts of tomorrow playing the game some more. I need a purple horse, dang it. I have like all the horse colorations except for purple! But I need purple horse, because my character Verity, who I designed my avatar in the game after, she has a purple horse in the game. So I want to get her actual purple horse, and then at some point, when they patch in the ability to ride your farm animals, like your horses, I want her to have Horsune Miku. Which is not actually the horse's name, that's just what we call the horse, because the horse is like a hologram projection. And when Jay gave me the horse, I was like, oh, Horsune Miku! Her name is Opal. But we all jokingly call her Horsune Miku. Because it's funny. Is the horse teal? No, like I said, the horse is purple. We call her Horsune Miku because she is a hologram. Like Hatsune Miku. Let's see how many people have responded to the poll today. Let's see. Wow! I just checked on the poll again. We have gone from, we've gotten like 50 responses since the stream started. Oh boy. Let's see. Have any of the results been horribly, altered? Ooh, yeah. Second and third place have swapped for the class choices. I think the rest of them are still basically the same, though. Pretty much. 800 random trait responses. That's several. That's several that I will get my pick of. And several more to come, I'm sure. Okay. How is this looking? Getting there. Getting there. Oh, hell yeah, that's my baby girl right there. That's my baby girl right there. She looks like a sleepy raccoon. I love her. She is so eepy sleepy. Just like me. Rest in peace, Thalia. You would have loved TikTok. She would have been so all over TikTok and Vine. She would have loved, like, making short little stupid videos and posting them online. She would have loved that shit. I want to give her some, like, denim-y texture on her pants, I think. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Denim pants. Oh boy, guys. You know what I'm excited for? Apropos of absolutely nothing, I was just thinking about it. New Rune Factory game coming out soon, and I'm hype as hell! They've posted pre-orders for, like, the special edition. And the only reason I haven't gotten it yet is because they haven't, like... So, like, they have pre-orders up on Amazon now for the special edition. But, like, it says what's in it, but they don't have, like, product pictures or anything. And I'm like, I would like to see what I'm getting before I spend, you know, $100 on the special edition. But they said it comes with, like, a little keychain and some extra goodies, and so I'm like, once they post pictures, I will consider it. But I've gotten, I have gotten the special editions of the last few Rune Factory games that have come out, and I want them to be all lined up all pretty on my shelf. Like, I've got the one from Rune Factory 4, and 3, and 5. Rune Factory 5 was okay. 4 is still the best one, I would argue. But we'll see what happens when the new one comes out. It seems like they're going pretty different for Guardians of Azuma, so I am hoping that they've got some good stuff happening for it. I'm hype. I'm hype. Mm-hmm. Forgot to do this. Then she had blue eyes, like a dark blue. I don't know, something about characters with black hair and blue eyes is just a good color combo to me. Lapis has the same combo. She's got the black hair and she's got the blue eyes. I don't know, I just think black and blue look good together. And now we're gonna give her some blushies. There we go. Looks like a little wild child. I love her. I love her. This is my this is my boisterous daughter, who I love very dearly. I have not thought about her in several years, but she's a good bean. She's actually a little bit of a brat, but it's kind of called the fuck out because my friends tell me, it's like, every time you try to make a character that's an asshole, they're actually like a super sweetie, and it's just not super obvious right away. And so, like, the point was made about Emery and also about Ariana and a few of my other characters, and I'm just like, alright, look. Want to play a butt face sometimes, and they're like, well, you're not doing that. You're playing sweeties who hide their sweetness, and I'm like, no, I'm so moody, and they're like, yeah, sure. And I feel especially called out. It's not fair. Oh man, you know what? I need to give her goth nail polish, is what she needs. Hell yeah, baby girl. Nah, it can be straight black. Okay, now we put all of these into a folder together. And now we add our soft lights. And we will go ahead and grab... Oh, that's not the right layer. Look at her! She's so cool. She's so cool. I love her. Here, I think we're gonna have some fun with, like, little lightning bolts. She's doing air guitar 'cause she's so cool. Where's it? Oh, no, not merge visible layers. Merge these, thank you. Oh no, it's crunchy from the... transformation tools. Clean up the edges a little bit. There she is. Grungy daughter. So, do a little offset for that. Yeah. She's very hardcore. And here we can add some other little effects. I think she needs some Doritos. I think she needs some Doritos. Passionate Doritos. Hell yeah. Let me try something. I feel like this stroke needs to be continued a little bit. Just a bit. This is what I love about digital art. You can screw around and find out a little bit. If you don't like how something looks, you can just erase it. Delete that layer. And yeah, I think I do like that, actually. I do generally really like the bold white outlines to separate things. Just like putting a stroke around stuff. Looks neat and very graphical, you know? Alrighty. I think we are done for today. So we are gonna go ahead and call it here, gamers. I wanna go eat dinner. But yeah, so here, as a recap, we finished my Monster of the Week character, Thalia, Rockstar Baby, love her very dearly. And then we also finished Kai, a teacher character and kind of predecessor to Zera. Couple of nerds. Here, I'll put them side by side. And these two will be going up in my original characters video, which will be happening in October. So if y'all want to hear me ramble more about them, you will have that opportunity when my next video comes out. But in the meantime, if you have not already, please go check out the video that I just released today. It's like 20 minutes of me talking about stuff I like. But yes, so I am not sure what days I will be streaming next week, but I for sure will be streaming at least once next week because I have, I think, 5 more of these to draw for the part 1 video. Yippee! So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and call it there, but I will see you guys next time. Fare thee well, friends. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I will see you guys next time. Bye!